Welcome to the Model Health Show. This is fitness and nutrition expert Shawn Stevenson here with my beautiful, talented, gifted co-host and producer Jade Harrell. What's up, Jade?
What's up, Shawn?
How you doing today?
Today I am festivational.
Festivational, huh?
Yes, sir.
What is it? What is that?
Sensationally festive right now.
I like it. It's that time of year.
It is, and I feel
That
so
time
good.
of year. So everybody, we've got a special holiday episode lined up for you guys today because it is that special time of year. And no matter what you might celebrate, you know, with your particular family, be it Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, or if you're just glad to get some days off,
Right.
there are going to be some a different terrain
Oh,
to
my
modulate as far as your health during this time of year. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And in particular, we're going to talk about how to avoid holiday weight gain.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Because usually the holidays set people up for a lot of rebuking and a lot of, can I get a do-over when
man.
New Year's comes along, and
guilt.
the resolution to do better. And we can start doing better right now, and you can actually make it so that the holidays actually adds to your health and well-being and connection and vitality rather than it being some lull and a hangover.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to dive in today. But first, let's give a huge shout out to our show sponsor, onnit.com. Head over to onnit.com/model, and you're going to get 10% off all of your human health and performance supplements. And it's exclusive here. I don't know if people really realize this, but I got them to give 10% off for their Super Greens formula, the Earth Grow Nutrient
back?
formula. It's back.
Thank
and
you.
better than ever.
I have been really sparingly using my last container of that. 'Cause I'm like, I don't know
Look,
when.
half a scoop.
I'm telling you, I mean, I got to spoons
Yeah.
and was just, I'll just use a little.
A lot of people have been like, Shawn, what's up with that? I really think that, you know, one of the things that they're always striving to do is to improve upon the formulas. And so they've actually added a couple of really cool things that I've been enjoying for many years, but I'll take it in like a different supplement or finding a different formula. But one of the things they've added is Jerusalem artichoke, which is a really incredible prebiotic.
Okay.
Right? Not a probiotic, but a prebiotic. So the probiotic or friendly flora actually need the right conditions or the right sort of food for them to eat and to thrive.
That makes
And that's what prebiotics are. And so Jerusalem artichoke is one of the things that's been added in. Also, they've added nettle, which is really great for your kidney function, which your kidneys are sort of like a built-in battery pack, having your adrenals sitting right on top of them. You know, it's really an interesting and unique organ system, you know, and kind of people are like, well, I can lose a kidney or donate a kidney. Those things are pretty important to the degree that if you don't have kidneys, you have to go on dialysis. And it's really a tough situation to be in. So we want to take care of our kidneys, you know, by, of course, drinking plenty of high quality water, but also adding in specific nutrition and stored nutrition. Like nettles has clinical proof for its efficacy in assisting the function of your kidneys, which also, by the way, your kidneys control your blood pressure. Antidiuretic hormone gets released from your brain, and your kidneys help to kind of thicken or thin out your blood based on that signal, you know, so your kidneys are super important. Just yet another thing added to the formula, but of course they've got the greens that are in there, the wheatgrass, the organic kale, all that good stuff. The camu's in there. So Earth Grow Nutrients, one of my favorite things.
Absolutely.
It's just like a great health insurance, but it's coming from a whole food source rather than a synthetic source. So
And don't forget, it tastes great.
yes, it actually tastes good.
We're not making it up.
You know,
It tastes
there's
really
some
good.
I've tried. I can't even tell you how many different greens formulas over the years. This is the best tasting one.
I've
that
tried the
had.
ones you've recommended over the years.
It could be a little nasty.
Yeah. And,
But, you know,
but
sometimes
this
you
is
got to
not a
pay to
problem.
play, you know, but this one is definitely more pleasurable. So that's just one of the things. They've got the hemp force protein, the shroom tech, the krill oil. Head over, check them out, onnit.com/model health for 10% off. Now let's get into the iTunes review of the week.
This is from Be Ready. It's a 5-star rating, and it says, my wellness Shangri-La in a purgatory of health misinformation. Thank you from the depth of my being. Shawn and Jade, you pour out your heart into each episode. You are sending nourishing knowledge nuggets to so many. These episodes have reminded me why I began my journey in the field of nutrition. However, my classes are disheartening and full of sheeple that do not question information presented to them and then will go on to distribute misinformation to hundreds of patients. What resources can you suggest for people into the field of health and wellness? Also, a show topic suggestion. I live in Maine, where everybody and their mother are writing medical marijuana prescriptions. I've seen people lose tons of medications and replace it with this herb. I've heard you mention it is estrogenic. What else? Even my doctor's office writes prescriptions, and we have metropolitan legalization in Portland. This is a widely used supplement. Thank you so much for your positive change in my life and learning, and love you guys.
Awesome. Love
Two
it.
good questions in
The
here,
name,
too.
there was Be Ready, right?
Be ready.
Love
Yeah.
it. Well, thank you so much for the review. And there's a couple of questions buried in there, which is unique. Most people aren't burying questions in there, but how to get into the field of, working in as a medical practitioner, just do it. Just do it. Just start helping people. You don't need permission to help people, to give advice. Of course, we don't want to start making grand claims that if you come to my door, I'm going to, cure your diabetes or whatever the case may be. But just help people. Be friendly. Start finding creative ways to be of service and help people to feel good. Really get boots on the ground and start being of service. That's really how you get started.
Yeah.
And surrounding yourself by people who are doing the things that you want to do. So, for example, tuning into the Model Health Show, and some of the amazing practitioners we have on there, including myself, but Dr. Jillian Tita, we just had on recently, Dr. William Davis, who wrote Wheat Belly, Dr. Sarah Gottfried. They're in that sphere of influence, and you can start to look at their track and their path to getting to where they are, and that's a really great place to kind of sop up like a biscuit, that kind of
Like
knowledge, And also, I like the show topic idea. I've been contemplating that for a while, so I've definitely got a thing or three to say about it. But thank you so much for the review. And everybody, thanks for leaving these reviews on iTunes. We truly do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and dive into our topic of the day.
Okay.
Today, we're going to be talking about how to avoid holiday weight gain. Not weight. A little bit heavier.
It is weighty.
And for each of the tips that we share today, we're first going to share the underlying cause of the problem in the first place. And we've got 5 specific causes that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to dive in with tips to help to address each one. So let's go ahead and get started. Cause number 1 is for holiday weight gain. Number 1 is peer pressure.
Oh my goodness, that has to be
Peer
number
pressure, right? We hear that term when we're like in middle school and high school, and they're telling us about marijuana, for example, we just talked about in the review, but not succumbing to peer pressure. And we think, oh, we're past that. I got my big boy pants on. You got your big girl pants on.
Right.
I'm not succumbing to peer pressure. It's not relevant to me anymore. Well, the reality is it's very relevant. Peer pressure really drives a lot of our decisions about how we think, about how we dress, about how we eat, of course.
For sure.
So it's realizing that
how,
especially,
when, where, and why
yes,
we eat.
all of that. So holiday time is really hardcore time for that, because at the office there's going to be the cookies, there's going to be the Christmas parties, the cakes, the punch, the different little tasty treats, just
everywhere,
speckled out throughout the building.
Love your description.
And also, of course, when we go to family get-togethers, friends, and people are just, and I know from my experience, just growing up and going to a grandmother's house and like, come, baby, got your lemon meringue pie?
Oh,
don't
man.
you?
It
And then,
is a
so
dessert extravaganza.
exactly. The sweet potato pie, the
Yep.
pumpkin pie, the lemon meringue pie, the pound cake.
Yep. In some
right?
places, there's more dessert than there is anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And the pound cake. Let me tell you. So
Don't do
pound cake
it.
is a pound of butter,
Off top.
pound of flour, pound of
Minimum.
sugar,
Minimum.
and puts pounds on your behind.
Easily.
Easily.
You might as well just.
But not the good, not like the J-Lo
Right.
kind of pounds.
Shouts out to
but
J-Lo.
the other stuff, the Jell-O pudding pop kind.
You might as well take the cake and just press it into your pants.
Rub it in. Rub it in.
And then
rub
try
it
to
in.
close them around.
So
what's left there? That's so serious.
we're all dealing with this stuff when we go to our family and friends' house, especially once we change our health and we're getting healthy. It's like it's a magnet for asking you to eat stuff that you would normally not eat.
Right.
And the bottom line, so let's go ahead and get into the tips. So how do we deal with the peer pressure? Number 1 is awareness trumps everything.
Okay.
Just knowing ahead of time that when I go over to such and such house, when I go over to my aunt's house, I know that they're going to want me to eat whatever it is. So I already know coming to my mind, how can I navigate that terrain without being, because some people will take offense to it.
Oh, yeah.
But the reality is we tend to make a bigger deal out of it than they do. A lot of times we get so worried about them taking offense to it. When you have to, at the end of the day, it's your body.
Well, there you go.
You have to sleep with yourself.
Well, there you
Your
go.
aunt's not sleeping with you, hopefully.
Right. But that's
at
your
this point.
auntie who practically raised you.
Yeah.
You know, Shawn, I mean, surely you remember those times.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that. You know, there's pushback.
Yeah. Let me
remember?
dive in a little bit deeper on that
Okay.
tip. All right. So first of all, awareness trumps everything.
Yeah.
Just knowing what's going to come ahead of time. So you're not trying to do something in the moment, but giving a heads up, like, Aunt Shirley,
Aunt
I've
Nita,
changed the
yeah.
way that I'm eating right now. And, I found that dairy really bothers me. It makes me puffy. It breaks out my skin. So I'm not going to be having blank this year. Do you think you can make this? That's one of my favorites. Something that maybe is a little bit different, maybe better ingredients, better quality, whatever the case might be. Or can you make sure that I get extra of your famous
There you
holiday
go.
ham?
So I like that you positioned, may I have more of something else you make?
Yes. Make sure they feel important and
Exactly,
acknowledged.
and included.
Yes.
Because to say, well, then could you make me something else? I just I think that could work in some circles, but I can so picture
Right.
them looking at me, what? You want me to just make something else for you?
Yeah.
You love me, right?
But and I've seen this
I love
time and time again that a lot of family members are very much willing to do that, to try something different because it's the holiday and they want to do something nice for the person that they love.
Well, also in that love, they've seen your progress.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many of you, if this is one of those situations where you've been working at it, you've been determined, and you've been making progress, they've seen it before now. They know what you're up to. So they're probably going to be receptive.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so
I had plenty of support.
This is the micro level of peer pressure.
Yeah.
Overall, the macro level in society, I mean, just this whole idea surrounding this very commercialized holiday now, people missing the point about potential here of giving and love and service. But the big marketing cartoon character is, well, guess what? Guess who's out of shape?
Right.
Santa Claus.
For real.
So like the overarching theme of this holiday for
That's
a lot of
true.
people is this overweight guy who's dealing with, like, he's got this addiction to milk and cookies, the milk and cookies. And it's really important to understand that this is bigger than what you might understand from a very surface level, right? It's deeper than that. It's deeply ingrained in our psychology that this time of year, it's okay to overindulge.
Well, sure.
Not indulge, overindulge.
Overindulge. Well, any spread or picture you see of a table
Yes.
is piled upon piled and no space left for anything but food, and maybe not even yourself.
Yeah.
You'd have to eat your way to a spot at the table
Yeah.
practically.
Yeah.
And that's the imagery of what makes it festive again
Yes.
and bright. It's just, I could see how that would be embedded.
And let's get something straight here. I made a difference between a contrast, indulgence and overindulgence.
There you go. Okay.
This is the hallmark time of year when people are, quote, falling off the wagon and like just destroying all of the progress that they've made.
Completely tearing
because
down.
of emotional or psychological stress and ties, historical ties. So it's about breaking those things and starting to see, like, I'm in control of my own body and my mind. I can absolutely let my hair down, kick my shoes off, and enjoy this holiday and eat amazing food, eat stuff that I normally wouldn't eat. But it's just having that stuff in somewhat of a balance to where you're not physically hurting yourself or setting yourself up for this snowball effect. And what a great time of
Exactly.
year to talk about a snowball effect, and stuff just getting out of hand really quickly. And then you're struggling to try to get back on the wagon.
And so I'd like you to speak on that it does create a snowball effect. That falling off the wagon isn't just a perfect
Right.
landing and dismount.
Yeah.
It's 3-point, it's messy.
Some
it's-
people do parkour and they fall off the wagon, they hop right back on it. It's some cool move, but some people fall off the wagon and they're there. Like, you
Right.
come back 2 weeks later and you're like, hey, you fell off the wagon 2 weeks ago. We're over here. What's up?
Right.
So it's understanding and also understanding your personality too. I think that's important. Who are you? And you're bringing yourself to this new party per se. So really thinking about, how do I handle stress? How do I handle these family get-togethers? How do I handle the holidays when I'm eating? Does this really throw me off track, or is it just something I have a good time, good day, have some drinks, have some great food, and then it's over? If that's you, this tip is not for you.
Okay.
But this is something for all of us to kind of be aware of, because stuff can be getting to you in the back of your mind, but you don't even know it.
Oh, it's
Ninja
already
style.
working on me. It's already
Well,
Speak it
bottom
to me
line
now.
for this one is just be prepared to stand your ground because
Yeah.
it's your body.
I'm
All right,
gonna
so let's
win.
move on. So, how to avoid holiday weight gain? Here's the second big cause is stress. Okay, the big S word, stress. Family obligations, excessive shopping, and just being off your daily routine overall
Oh,
can
yeah.
cause substantial increases in your overall stress levels. And higher stress levels experienced physically is an increase in your body's production of cortisol. And cortisol has gotten a pretty bad rap in the media the past couple of years because it's the big stress hormone people talk about. But cortisol is really important. It's valuable. This is why your body produces it in the first place. It helps you to do stuff. It helps you to get up and get active and to, move mountains if need be. When cortisol kicks on at a higher level, we get into fight or flight response along with adrenaline. We can tap into our ability to really manifest superhuman strength and,
Yes.
do great workouts. Or if it's something where it's a life and death situation, a real fight or flight situation, it helps you to survive. It's an evolutionary advantage, but it should be released on a certain rhythm.
Okay.
Every single day. Cortisol rises in the morning, drops down in the evening. But today, especially holiday time, we're getting spikes all over the place.
Sure. And sustaining those spikes. Now, we have come to learn, Shawn, with what studies that have been going on, that continued stress at those levels is
Yes.
toxic.
Exactly. So what happens is we get into this chronic cortisol, and what also can happen at the other side of that is being depleted, where your cortisol is no longer functioning normally. And that's a really bad place to be, a really toxic and damaging place to be. So what this extra stress tends to do as well is it can lead into other behavior patterns of stress eating, for example, or stress hooking up, right? Holiday hookups, and just responding emotionally and not really being in control of our system, and stress eating is a big part of our lexicon today and something that people are aware of. So when your stress levels get elevated, something to kind of counterbalance that would be an increase in your serotonin production. All right, these two things are operating on a little bit of a different track. Serotonin is more relaxation, anti-stress, feeling good, feeling balanced. And our body knows that it can get a serotonin hit from eating carbohydrates.
Oh, shucks.
All right. So what we'll tend to do is to get a little bit of a carbohydrate fixation during this time of year to help to modulate stress, because we're going to get that little bit of a serotonin hit. And it's just a natural, like if you've ever had a cookie before, if you've ever had ice cream, if you ever had pie, your brain knows that it can get some carbs there to get that serotonin hit to help to calm you down, balance you out. Right. And this is going on every day, and it's going on underneath our radar. So this is something to be aware of, that the stress, the added stress of the holidays can lead to stress eating.
That gives me an idea.
What's that?
To put little note cards by the pies. Really, like put
What's
some
it gonna
note
say?
It's going to say, warning, this pie may seemingly increase your feeling good level of serotonin, but can then put you in a vicious cycle of downward spiral carb eating.
That poor pie.
That poor pie.
That poor
It's
pie didn't do
okay.
anything to get a label like
Hey,
that.
No, but you know what? He
Yeah.
deserves it. He deserves to live.
Well, we'll talk. We'll talk a little bit more about that kind
Right?
of stuff coming up later in some of the tips we're going to get to. But yeah, just being aware, whatever visual cues you might need just to chill out. But how about we get to a point to where we don't need that in the first place? Let's
Exactly.
do that.
Yeah.
And so that we can enjoy the pie if we want to.
Right.
How about that? All right.
I would prefer that.
So during this time of year, when we're dealing with more stress, again, family obligations, excessive shopping, just being off your daily routine, it's really important to, number one, try to stick to your daily routine as much as you can. So just because you've got the day off from work or a couple of days off from work doesn't mean that you sleep till 10 o'clock and then you get up and you're just in a hurry. Instead of just getting up and doing your normal daily routine, hopefully you're doing a little bit of exercise, a little bit of meditation, drinking your water,
Definitely getting your water.
getting some really great high quality food or supplements into your body, whatever the case might be. But sticking to your daily regimen, even at night, same thing, like your evening rituals to get ready for bed. Those things are really important when the kind of like, oh, the cage, I'm out of the cage.
Right.
I'm off the chain, and you're just running around like a wild animal. And it's like, they let me out.
Taz.
So, right. So this is really important, is to try to stick to your daily routine as much as possible. Also, be sure to include some daily stress management practices. If you're not doing this already, this is a really great time to implement this. 10 minutes of meditation. And there are so many wonderful meditations that you can get just with an app on your phone, like Headspace, for example. Okay. You can just download that from the store right now, put your headphones on, turn it on. 10-minute meditation is really going to do you a lot of good.
Love it. And that probably would be great on the actual so-called holiday that you're participating in.
It's good every day, but especially.
Especially then, so the routine on that day before you get over to your family's house or before things get started, as well as getting in those great supplements and nutrients in the beginning, then you may not be so ravenous toward the end.
Ravenous.
Yeah. When stuff may not be working the way you expected.
Meditation, that's one.
Love it.
Exercise.
For sure.
This is like a virtual fountain of youth, but also a virtual supply of anti-anxiety, anti-stress hormones that get released really post-exercise, because during exercise, you're going to produce a little bit more cortisol, but your body's going to start to release these endorphins, which are basically internal painkillers. You're going to get this really powerful, sustained hormonal benefit throughout the rest of the day by getting some exercise in during the first part of the day. And just to give you guys a little added tip, I wasn't planning on putting this one in here today because we did a holiday show last year and we really talked about how to navigate the food situation a lot more, which we'll put that in the show notes. But if you're going to be indulging in that evening, say it's, Christmas dinner or whatever holiday it might be, and I'm going to eat some cake, But you want that to actually do your body a little bit of good. It would be really advantageous to get a workout in beforehand, not after, because a lot of times working in the gym back in the day, people be in there after the holiday, like, I got to work off this double
after
chocolate
fact,
cake.
But you're saying before.
Exactly, because your body is not going to be very prompted to break down fat and use it for fuel.
I would use the word receptive.
There you go.
It would not be
it's a really arduous process for your body to do that. Rather than, how about we shuttle those calories, shuttle that carbohydrate to feed your muscles rather than getting stored as fat. And how do you do that is by doing especially some type of strength training that day. And of course, a lot of gyms are closed, so just do some body weight stuff. Do some sets of push-ups and body weight squats. Hopefully, you've got a couple of dumbbells or the kettlebells from On It, for example, those primal bells, which I have. And you could do some snatches with that. You could do some shoulder presses, some bent over rows, kettlebell swings, all kinds of cool stuff. And you're going to basically activate and create this sensitivity, this insulin sensitivity, which would normally be going to potential fat cells, but a greater sensitivity for glucose to get shuttled into your muscle cells when they're active. Okay, so you can help your body to partition and ship that extra food you're taking in to your muscles.
Love it.
And also there's some studies showing that doing HIIT training actually blocks your body from storing those excess carbohydrates as fat for a certain amount of time.
Get out.
Yes. So there's a couple of things to keep in mind, getting up the holiday morning. And one of the traditions we used to have when I was a kid was this football game that we always play on the holidays with kids in the neighborhood.
Makes sense.
And sometimes it'd be snow on the ground, full contact.
Sure, you guys
we
go
were crazy.
Hard.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So meditation, exercise, also qigong. I love qigong. We had an amazing episode about it a while back. Now we've got to bring Tristan back on the show.
I was just thinking that.
But we'll put that in the show notes. So this is more of like a moving meditation, which is really great for people that have a lot of inner chatter, a lot of busy-minded people, but also people who want to kind of cultivate and generate more internal energy and fire. It's been around for almost 5,000 years, this practice, and it's for cultivating your chi, which is kind of like your daily energy, your daily fire. And I just love that practice. It's something that I cycle on and off of. When I start doing it, I'll maybe do it for 3 months, and then I'll start getting into some different meditations. I like to experiment a lot, but I always come back to qigong. So to modulate stress.
Have you ever recorded yourself doing it?
Qigong, that's Tristan's thing. He's got the videos on that Peter Ragnar.
Yeah.
When we had him on the show.
Thinking.
My goodness,
I can
yeah.
envision one of those collages where you guys are all doing your
Looking like the three
exercises.
ninjas.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
So, meditation,
I can see
exercise,
it.
qigong. Check the show notes for the
Yeah,
qigong episode if you have not listened to it. It's a
that's a
must.
great one. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to number 3, how to avoid holiday weight gain. The third cause is, I like to picture if Ice Cube is talking to you and you're like, how do I avoid holiday weight gain, Ice Cube? What's going on? What's my problem? He's like, yay, yay.
I hope he hears.
He's
this
like,
one.
you're hungry, fool. It's because you're hungry. You're hungry, fool. That's what it really is. It's a big driver for holiday weight gain
Well,
because you're
there,
hungry.
yeah.
Here's the key, and I've said this many times on the show in the past. Nutrient deficiency leads to chronic overeating. Nutrient deficiency leads to chronic overeating. Please understand this. When your body is starved for magnesium or silicon or copper or potassium or selenium and these different things that you need to get from your nutrition, from your diet, and in comes a sandwich, or in comes more cake, or I'm really going hard on cake
I'm
today.
saying, right?
The lemon meringue pie, in comes the Christmas cookies. You not only are you not giving your body what it's calling for with its hunger, because the hunger signal is to get the foods that it needs to rebuild you, unless we're dealing with some type of, more in depth, we're talking about like candida infection or some parasitic thing or some weird kind of, if your hormones are just broken, your signals from your body are going to be pretty true to the fact that I'm trying to get nutrition in here, but you keep eating cookies. Right? So, and in comes that stuff, but not only do you not get what it needs and you're going to get hungry again, but it's pulling more of those nutrients out of your body to try to process it.
Oh,
So you
wow.
become more and more deficient and more hungry. So what we want to do during this time of year in particular to meet this cause, right, head on and defeat it easily is to make sure that your micronutrient needs are met. So what that says is, number one, the easy thing is the meals that you personally have control over very easily, make sure that they're great. So we've got the Hanukkah meal coming up at the evening or Christmas dinner, and we know we're going to indulge there. Make sure that your breakfast is just stellar,
Right.
just great stuff, loaded with micronutrients.
Green.
Yeah, plenty of sauteed vegetables, maybe some raw vegetables in there, some fermented foods, all that good stuff, some essential fats. Maybe you're taking your supplements. This is also a great time to add in that health insurance, like the earth-grown nutrients. This is something that's really important during this time of year to make sure that you're getting in those type of things as well. Food first, but these really viable, wonderful nutritional supplements as well. So let's go ahead and get into number 4 on our list of ways to avoid holiday weight gain. So this is our 4th cause. Number 4 here is poor sleep. Big contributor to holiday weight gain. And the parties, the traveling,
Right.
trying to take
Didn't
care
occur to me.
of everyone else late into the evening due to poor planning. And this happens to a lot of people. And we've talked about this many times on the show. Best-selling book on the
Yes.
topic of sleep and how it contributes to stress eating, how it contributes to lowered immune system in particular. Once you get sick, it just throws the whole game off. So poor sleep is a big contributor here. So what can we do about it? Number 1, really simple, put a priority on your sleep. There was a time that we were sleepwalking,
Yeah.
and we didn't really understand how important sleep was. But now you guys are awake. I'm awake to the fact that this stuff is so powerful. This vitamin S,
Yeah.
getting your high quality sleep in every facet of your life. It makes everything exponentially better. But if you're on the wrong end of it, not getting it, it makes everything exponentially worse. So just put a priority on your rest and recovery. You're going to be out. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Just keep in mind, like, I'm going to make sure that I get to bed at such and such time to take care of myself so that tomorrow I could feel awesome and we could do more of this stuff.
Yeah. That was so inconspicuously obvious.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, of course. Now, if we've got some days off, then take some time to, get more done during the day that you may not have ordinarily, and then go on and get to bed. That is
Exactly.
really
Exactly. It's just, again, just because I'm off work, I'm just going to stay up all night. And, you don't have to do that, because I promise you, whatever it is that you're staying up all night for, you can do in the morning. Most things.
Yeah, you could do that too.
So, yeah, exactly.
It's great in the mornings.
So
Whatever you're talking about.
It's right. Whatever you're talking about, Martin Lawrence said, it marinates.
Yeah.
It marinates
Yeah, it does.
at night. So that's a big one, is just putting a priority on it. And also, so how do we do it in the moment when we've got stuff going on? Maybe it's a holiday party. It's okay to politely excuse yourself. If you're actually tired because you've been doing the stuff that we've been talking about here and your circadian timing is on point. If you want to stay out and party, absolutely do that. Just stack the other conditions in your favor. But if you just want to, kind of be a warrior on this whole getting great sleep thing, just politely excuse yourself.
Right.
I mean, I'm that guy. Like,
Right,
I'll be,
right.
this has been
Hey,
fun.
where you going next? What spot you hitting? The bed.
I'm going back to the room, brother. So,
I love it.
very simple. Just politely excuse yourself and kind of make it clear ahead of time. Maybe if you're with your mate or whoever you're rolling with, that, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I'm probably going to be out of here around 10, 11 o'clock. Or, maybe midnight is your curfew for this time of year. Whatever it is, just, of course, have fun. But at the same time, just understand that poor sleep tends to lead to overeating, and it tends to lead to a crash in your immune system.
So here is a strategy to stack the conditions in your favor. Take 2 cars. So then you're not bound by any other obligation because you're waiting on someone else.
Or call an Uber.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Call an Uber.
All right. So that's number 4 on avoiding holiday weight gain. That's another big player there, is poor sleep. So let's move on to number 5. So how do we avoid holiday weight gain? Cause number 5 is another simple one, because these are all simple yet profound.
They are profound.
Number 5 is poor planning. This goes back to that old sage, Benjamin Franklin. If you fail to prepare, then you're preparing to fail.
Simple as that.
Real simple. So shopping. All right. Shopping. I'm going to talk about this from the guy perspective, first of all. All right. So why do we do this as men? Like, we get out and brave the elements and brave the mall and the lines and all this stuff in order to get presents for people this time of year. Why would we do such a thing? Well, it's deeply ingrained in us as men to be the hunters, to be the people who go and we brave the elements and we come back with bearing gifts, literally.
Yes.
And this is a time where guys can literally step up and do this, even though a lot of guys absolutely detest going to the stores and trying to hunt and find all this different stuff. So try to see that you can evolve past that evolutionary pull, and you can go online to this place called Amazon.com.
Love it.
Right? Amazon.com, free shipping. You got Amazon Prime, or Target.com, or whatever the case may be. And you could do a lot of your shopping online, So this is one way that you can do stuff ahead of time with some planning, rather than getting out there and being in the midst of all that drama out there.
Right.
And so here's the thing. We just talked about this on the Good Dad Project podcast.
I love that podcast.
And talking about, there's one of the tips. And so this was us talking about it amongst other men, amongst other fathers. But we've got some amazing group of women who listen to the show, moms who listen to the show, to find out our inner workings.
Oh, yes.
But we talked about that, of specifically thinking about being of greater service to our wife during this time of year, and finding out ways that we can strategically help to make sure problems don't happen later. Because for a stretch of time, for a number of years, every holiday, I'd end up at a 24-hour Quickie Mart buying some random item that was not purchased before,
Cranberry sauce.
And so whatever it might be, and so I didn't like that. I'm trying to watch the game or whatever it is, even though there was a time I wasn't even watching whatever, but bottom line was, I was trying to have my holiday too, and just kind of kick back and not be at the store. But doing some proactive planning, like, let me help you with the shopping list. What do we need?
Yes.
Let me go and take care of some of this for you, because truth be told, Mrs. Claus is she's probably going to be happier.
Oh, yes.
Probably going to hook you up.
Holly and jolly and bright.
So helping to relieve some of that stress, and also help her to increase her oxytocin level by feeling more love and more cared for and significant. All that is going to bleed over into a much more quality holiday at the end of the night.
For everybody.
So, there's many ways to modulate this whole thing with the planning, not just for yourself, but also for your loved ones as well. So another thing to plan and kind of map out is to have your food mapped out, either knowing what you're going to eat during the day, or knowing where you're going to stop and pick up food.
That makes sense.
Instead of just being out and getting a blood sugar drop, just kind of bottoming out, and you're like, okay, what can we eat? And the closest thing is Cinnabon.
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't had Cinnabon in so long, you know? And so
It smells like Cinnabon.
it smells like, do you guys use real Cinnabon? Or is it the fake Cinnabon?
Oh, God.
So
are you talking about the actual gathering meal, or you're talking about along the course of the holiday? Because I found that helpful.
Yeah.
We'll plan for the holiday meal and then not know what to do in the morning.
right.
Or we're out and we're hungry while we're shopping.
Yes.
And then we end up with another disaster there. So
exactly. I'm talking about over the course of the holiday.
There you go, man.
And it's really simple. It takes 2-3 minutes just to decide. Maybe you could do it the night before, which would be ideal. Like in the morning, we're going to have this. And then when we go out shopping, then we're going to stop at this. I've been wanting to go to this restaurant. I love them. You know, like have it mapped out in your head so you're not doing things that you didn't plan on.
That's right.
If you fail to prepare, then you're preparing to fail.
I love that.
Shout out to Benjamin Franklin and rocking those weird wigs that they used to wear.
He did rock it too. And the little shoes. Go, Ben.
Right. With the buckle. Got a buckle on your shoe.
1, 2.
America. All right. So let's move on. Sticking to a daily routine as much as possible, just like we talked about before. This is going to be really helpful in your planning because, again, a lot of times we get days off, so it's just all this open schedule. Have as much consistency as possible. So when you get up in the morning, what do you usually do during the week? Hopefully you've got a great morning routine kind of locked down. You get up, have your inner bath of drinking, some high quality water, a little bit of exercise, meditation, maybe some reading. Continue that stuff and continue your nightly ritual, whatever that might be as well, because that consistency really helps with the wiring of your brain. All right. We might think that we want to be outside the box, right? Think outside the box. But when that happens, is too much opportunity, too many options. What we really like as humans, and there's this wonderful book called The Paradox of Choice, that when we have a lot of options, a lot of opportunity, we tend to become debilitated and not choose or have the choosing done for you, right? So we want to be proactive, give ourselves a limited, create our own box, right? Think inside your own box. That's the new thing, all right? Create a little box and give yourself some options to choose from.
How about this? How about invite your family into your box? And I'm drawing this from another podcast where you talked about involving your family in your fitness. So with this extra time, maybe we could all go over to the Y or get out there for a great walk or
Love that.
Play in the leaves,
Yeah. Or a family football, basketball game.
Yeah.
You've got two
I've
teams.
got enough to rock a team.
I mean, you could do that easily. Some people might have to get together with some other families. But yeah, make a new family tradition of doing some activity together. I think that's wonderful.
Or even let's meditate together this morning.
Yeah.
We're all home for
meditation,
goodness sakes,
prayer, just going around and sharing what you're grateful for that day or for the holiday. Little stuff like that.
You're in my box.
I'm in the box.
You're in my box.
Look at me. I'm in a box.
Right. Did we both do that, really?
Yeah, we just did the mime thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
so
corny.
let's I'm gonna throw in one more bonus.
Okay.
All right. So how do we avoid holiday weight gain? One more thing, one more big cause is that, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, so I want to circle back around to it. I was gonna put it in a little bit earlier, but this is important. Food everywhere you go. All right. There's food everywhere. Christmas cookies, sample this, try that, everywhere. And so simple solution, especially even at our house. I remember, growing up, there'd be like a candy dish. It's not the best candy, it's the older folks' candy. Maybe some butterscotch or that hard candy that's just like a bowl of that stuff. But it's everywhere. There's Christmas cookies sitting out. There's a tray of this or tray of that. So in your own house, here's a solution. Just don't leave the stuff sitting out.
Right.
Really simple. If people are
away.
over, so be it. That's what it's for. But during the day, and while you're preparing, just don't leave the stuff sitting out because a lot of people are going to have a tendency to go and grab.
It's so easy.
Because it's right there. And your brain knows, you see it, And so.
And every time you pass it. It's not like.
Let me tell you, I live with the person who does that, So I've got this quality I've developed over the years of some delayed gratification,
Okay.
My wife, no, she's in the moment. So the other day we had we did an incredible workout. And we had some gluten-free pancakes, right? And with my pancakes, we add in like some hemp force protein, went into the batter, some ground flaxseed, whatever. Make it a little bit healthier, but it's still pancakes. Let's be for real. Right. So, but there was like half of a pancake left. And it was like 2 hours later, 3 hours later, because I think we watched like a cartoon movie or something with the kids. And so I go into the kitchen, I see that half a pancake sitting there, and my brain said, just throw it away, because you know what's going to happen. She's going to come and just start nibbling on it. And you know she's supposed to be, because what she said, not eating those carbs later in the day because of goals, some things she's working on. And sure enough, I just left it sitting there, and I just happened to be in the kitchen when she came in there. She went right over to it, just whoop, took a couple pieces of that pancake and just ate it. She didn't even think about it,
Right.
you know, because it's sitting out, you know, and that's the thing. And my wife,
It
I mean,
becomes
shout out to
so
my wife.
automatic,
She's super beautiful,
Yes,
hot, all
she
that good
is.
stuff.
She
You can
is.
have that pancake if you want it, baby.
Okay.
All right, I'm not taking a pancake
worked
away from
for
you.
it. She
It's just
worked for
understanding though that if it wasn't sitting out, she wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, how
She wouldn't
about
have even
that?
been thinking about it. All right, so
Send it with your guests.
send it,
Send it
and
with
also
your
just
guests,
keep
or
the stuff.
take it to somebody who needs them.
Keep the stuff in the cabinets. You know, if you're not serving food at the time, keep the Christmas cookies in the cabinets. All right, keep the pies in the refrigerator. Just don't have it sitting out.
I want to run a tally on how many times you said Christmas cookie this episode.
You
That
know what it
fun.
is? It's a deeply ingrained, like
It's in there.
the Christmas cookies.
I mean, it trumped the cake.
Those Christmas
is too
cookies had me,
funny,
man. My
yeah.
grandmother and
The
there was
different kinds.
yeah, the variety.
Right.
You know, the paradox of
sugar
choice.
ones, yeah.
I can't choose, so I'll just have them all. Yeah, so everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this episode.
I did.
And
And I feel so loved.
And I just want to really wish you guys a happy holiday and lots of great health and lots of love this holiday season. And we've got so much more in store for you guys. So buckle your seatbelt and be ready because this new year coming up, we're really going to take things to another level. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk with you soon.